What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back on another pregame live stream. Running a little bit late, but I'm here. Just having technical difficulty setting it up. Um, Lakers versus Raptors. 9 games left in the season, guys. This is going to be an extremely tough game just because everybody's in playoff mode now, and every single game we have to come out here and have some. We have to have some sense of urgency. 9 games left. We have to get right, just like that. But how y'all feeling today? Glad to see you guys made it here today. Like I said, running a bit late, technical difficulties, but I figured it out. So I'm doing good. Thank you guys for asking. As far as starting lineups, we still don't have it. There will be no Dennis Schroeder. He's out with safety protocols with this whole COVID stuff. I guess he must have tested negative or something because he won't be suiting up today for the Lakers. But we'll see how the Lakers respond. We've been turning the ball over, and he's been one of the main culprits. So I'm curious to see if the Lakers benefit or suffer from this. I'm very curious to see how we play tonight. Bottom line is Lakers must win at all costs. Keys to tonight's matchup. Obviously, we're going up against the Raptors. They have some key veterans. They have guys like Pascal Siakam. They have the Kyle Lowrys of the world. And they also have some up-and-coming new players, right? Michael Flynn type players. So we got to make sure nobody gets off. That's a no-name player. That's key, man, because these past couple of games have been atrocious. Guys have been just all over the place, just going off on us, man. What do you guys think is the key to the nice matchup? We still don't have the starting lineups. I keep scrolling to try to see what the update is. It looks like an update from the Raptors front. Anunoby, Toronto's best wing defender, who would likely spend much time on the night on LeBron, is out with a calf. So that's more help for the Lakers for sure. Hey, what's up, Dan? Appreciate the donation, brother. He said, what's up, Dan? Did you see Reese and Areola? I did not, brother. I didn't see it. He said, and thanks for the donation, bro. He said, yes, Bron playing. Bron played Friday. Yes, LeBron is definitely playing. Well, actually, we're not for certain yet because we are playing a back-to-backs, and the game we play tomorrow is going to be much tougher than the game we play tonight, right? So we don't know. Nothing is official till Mike Trudell clears LeBron James. As of right now, I don't have his starting lineup. So, yep, the Lakers play tomorrow. And I believe tomorrow we play the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see it really quick. Let me double-check that for you guys. Tomorrow, yep, we face the Nuggets tomorrow. So if I'm the Lakers, do I sit them out this game thinking we have enough firepower to win and then play them tomorrow? Or does he just play both games, limited minutes? What do you guys think the Lakers should do? He said, we can't let Gary Trent go off. I don't think Gary Trent is playing. At least in my fantasy lineup, I couldn't pick him up. It said out. So yeah, I'm not sure he's playing. He said, you think we win tonight and tomorrow? We need to win as many as possible. Obviously, right now there's some important games going on, and it looks like Portland is beating Boston. Again, CJ's going off. Dame, we know what they could do. They're up by 1 point in the fourth quarter. So that's a very important game coming up. And then as well as the Kings are playing the Mavericks, and the Kings are beating the Mavericks. So let's see if the Kings can come through and finish the Mavericks off so we can get our reclaim our fifth spot. But we are going to need Portland to lose as well. But again, this is nerve-wrack time for me because we're trying to get the best positioning to avoid the play-in tournament. I believe play-in starts May 15 and the official playoffs start May 20. Fact check me on that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward because the Lakers are jockeying for higher playoff position, try to avoid that play. And that's all that really matters now. It doesn't matter if we face Denver, the Clippers, or anybody. I believe we have a chance. It's just the only thing that matters is avoiding that play-in to me. Do you think the Raptors not playing in Toronto is why they are losing? No, the Raptors have dealt with key injuries this year, as well as not being able to acclimate to losing both Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, and the previous season, obviously, losing Kawhi Leonard. So they're a middle-of-the-road team. Like, they're neither a contender or a lottery team, so they're right in between, and that's not a good place to be. You either want to hit rock bottom or try climbing to the top. So it's going to be interesting. He says, sub DTLF, play y'all tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm hyped. He said, I think you guys have a solid chance. You guys should be able to beat the Raptors. Love you, bro. Love you too, man. He said, hope you're having a great weekend. God bless. I am having a great weekend, bro. Thank you so much. Love you, man. And as you can see, I got a little bit of a tan because me and the homies and my family, all my loved ones, we went out to hoop yesterday and we had some carne asada at the park. Man, that was dope. But it was hot, so you can see I got the tan from hooping on the court. Of course, we collecting dubs, so it didn't matter. But had a great time, man. Thank you for asking, bro. So Dan, I think we should have we should hold the 6th seed. I'd much rather play the Nuggets and the Clippers. I don't think it matters, Alexander. Either way, if you look at the cross matchups of the Nuggets and the Clippers, they're both very similar. Look, the only advantage that the Clippers have over the Nuggets is that they have Kawhi Leonard, an MVP candidate, every year or whatever. A great defensive player as well. But the Nuggets also have a lot of depth. Don't underestimate them just because they don't have Jamal Murray. Last I checked, they still have the Joker. Michael Porter Jr. has been stepping up big time, and they have key role players that can also knock down shots. So it's basically going to be pick your poison. But regardless, in a 7-game series, I expect the Lakers to start playing a lot better. Now, last season, when we went into the bubble, we only won 3 out of the 5 games in the tournament that we had right before the playoffs. So I'm hoping that the Lakers can get it together just like we did that year. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. Every season is a new season with different challenges. And like Jeannie said, if you guys haven't seen her interview with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and All the Smoke or whatever, Up in Smoke, whatever the show's called, dope interview, man. Jeannie pretty much talked about how Phil Jackson taught her that every year there's a different path to a championship. So we just have to navigate and try to figure it out. Yes, we've been hitting some turmoil. We still haven't got on the same page. We're turning the ball over tons, actually. We're turning the ball over way too much for my liking. And there's some players that I just don't think are the right fit. But I hope that LeBron and AD and the rest of the unit can just make it all gel. And these last 9 games, that's what we really need. Yes, we need wins, but most of all, we need chemistry to start flowing. And I think adding LeBron back is going to get that accomplished for sure. My boy Tech Zone, he said, "Big up, Dan. We need a win. We need it, bro, and I hope we get it tonight, man. I don't want to pull off my chin strap, from stress of watching these games, bro. Thank you so much. And yes, you're right, man. This is a must-win. Every game from here on out, 9-game win streak would be nice, but every game is similar to a must-win just because." And thank you, Dale, for updating me right quick on the timeline. LeBron will play tonight. So for those of you that were asking, we just got the update from our boy Ryan Ward. So yes, LeBron James plays tonight. That's good news. That I think we'll bounce back nicely after the last game. But geez, like the Kings, look, I'll give the Kings credit because they're showing up tonight as well. And I guess it wasn't a fluke that they beat us. They play hard, and tonight again they're beating the Mavericks by 7 points. Let's see if they can execute and finish the second half off. But, props to them for playing hard, man. That's the way you should be as an NBA team. And this is why I do like the play-in tournament, because it gives teams like the Kings, I don't know if they're mathematically officially eliminated, but if they're not, it gives teams like that hope that they can make maybe the play-in tournament, and so they continue to play hard this late in the season. A lot of people like Mark Cuban were against it. They want to be crybabies because they're like, then why play the 82-game season, right? If you're just going to reward teams that are below us. It's like, no, that's not the point, bro. The point is that you're increasing the list of potential teams that can make the playoffs. That way there's more motivation to not tank. And I think Commissioner did an excellent job last season of developing that for the bubble and now making it permanent and official. Now, here's a rule change that I would like to see, guys. This is really good, all right? And I don't know if you guys agree with me, but the commissioner and the NBA and the NBA Players Association is currently in conversations, not as we speak, but these last couple of weeks, they've been talking about making the NBA draft come after free agency. So we'll probably just reverse the dates of free agency and the NBA draft, which would be dope because now teams can, they can shore up whatever they need on the roster. And then when they draft, they can draft for talent instead of for need. Most of the times when teams draft for need, they end up striking out and not getting the right player rather than, drafting for talent. See, if we're able to plug up all the holes in free agency before we head into the draft, then now we can have a more clear view of what's the best player on the board available. And that's the way I see it, if you guys know what I mean. So I hope that this rule change passes. I think the commission has done an excellent job of making the NBA better with little minor tweaks and stuff. Only thing he needs to remove is the flopping, man. If we could stop giving players the charge call for flopping and taking charges, I think the game would be so much better off. But we'll see. You'd have a lot more posted dunks, a lot more good defense. Also, you got to protect the defensive player because, man, all this, extra stuff that's been called this year, I'm not a fan of. He said the Nets lost, Dan. Yeah, I know that, Art. I saw glimpses of the game a little bit earlier. I was busy. But yeah, look, Brooklyn still doesn't have James Harden, so I'll give them that. But Kevin Durant and Kyrie, I'm not sure if they're exactly meshing well together on the court, which is exactly what I thought would happen between all three of them. I was like, who's going to take the back seat between the three, right? Somebody has to take it. There's only one basketball, and usually teams with three superstars, somebody's got to take the back seat. So that's still going to be the question leading up into the playoffs, and I don't think that bodes well for them. As you can see, teams with sizes really give them problems. I've been mentioning the Bucks. I think I still got Philly up there. Miami has tons of size. So there's plenty of teams in the East that can give this team a run for their money in a 7-game series. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the playoffs, guys. May 20th around the corner. You guys know I'm going to cover it right here on this channel extensively. I might even cover some other games. Would you guys, let me hit here in the comment section, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button as well. Would you guys like me to cover other games besides Laker games as well? Especially if they have implications towards somebody we might potentially meet in the playoffs. If so, make sure you guys put the thumbs up and you guys say yes or nah, just focus on the Lakers. Regardless, it's the People's Channel, whatever you guys want. But I do want to give you guys more extensive coverage on not just the Lakers, but basketball as a whole, because it could impact the Lakers, whether we meet somebody in the finals or in the Western Conference Finals or in the semis, regardless, right? I do love basketball, and I like to break it all down. So if you guys want to see more coverage come playoff time, I will try to do as much as I possibly can, especially the interesting games. Like last year, when Luka was killing the Clippers, I will pop up here and there and give you guys a little post game here and there. And so especially if it's beneficial to us, I'm going to pop up and make fun of some Clipper fans here and there. So that should be fun. Hey, everybody wants me to do more coverage for sure. And I'm considering bringing even more coverage to this channel, still keeping pregame, postgame, and everything Laker related first. Obviously, it's Lakers first, baby. But I'm thinking of bringing even more content to the channel since I'm dedicating myself full time to this, for sure. Andres, appreciate you, bro. He said, Dan, messed around and got a triple-double yesterday. Bro, I was hooping. I always hoop, though. I always hoop. It took me a game to get, my shot up right. But after that one game, I hit like 3 threes in a row, and I hit a couple game winners. So that's always fun, man. Knocking down the clutch shot, especially when it's a close game. Fun to play, man. He said, you should do live reactions in the playoffs. I will, Dale. Trust me. I'm putting that up for you guys to vote for it, and I will be covering it, man. I will be covering the playoffs extensively because just like you guys, I am a hoop head, and I need all the coverage I can get, and I definitely want to give that to you guys as well. So appreciate it, Andres. Thank you, bro. He said, you should do live reactions. Got you guys, man. He said, yes, Dan, ESPN replacement, man. I like that. It has a nice little ring to it. My brother Young Elder said, Lakers have to add more talent and depth at the forwards and shooting guard positions next year. Well, you're not wrong, Young Elder. You're definitely not wrong. But I want to see where the Lakers go this offseason. A lot's going to depend on who opts in and who opts out. Let's just say Montrez and Dennis opt out. Now we got some decisions to make, right? But if they opt in, also we have to work with the cap we have, and it's not going to be too much. So I want to see, obviously, Dennis is an unrestricted free agent, so we're going to have to try to bring him back. If we don't bring him back, I heard we're still capped out regardless, but we do have a high draft pick, especially based on it's going to be in the mid-20s based on where our record's going to be this year. So I'm going to cover that. You guys know I cover it every offseason. We have a draft pick. I cover the draft extensively as well. There's some talent there in college that I would love the Lakers to acquire, especially at the shooting guard position. You guys might know him. UCLA's very own Ju Zhang would be dope, man. He reminds me so much of Clay. I'm not saying he's going to be that good, but I'm saying he has potential, guys. And we could use a starting shooting guard like that next year. But that would also mean that, hey, if we get a draft pick like that and KCP doesn't ball out in the playoffs, he could be expendable. So I'm looking forward to it. And then you never leave the option of trading that pick because it's going to have some real value. First-round draft picks have some huge value in the offseason and maybe acquiring somebody else. Like, I don't know. Depends on what happens in the playoffs. Somebody could become available. You never know if Chris Paul or Westbrook or somebody becomes available and he just becomes the final piece of the puzzle that the Lakers need. So anything can happen. I love the offseason. As much as I love the regular season, offseason is just as exciting because there's so many possibilities. So I appreciate you, Young Elder. Thanks for the donation, bro, as always. He said Caruso, KCP, LeBron, and Drummond is the starting lineup. Then there you go. You guys have it. I love it, Danny. Appreciate you, bro. I didn't even look at my phone. I didn't have to look at my phone. I trust Danny, so I'm not even going to look at it. He said, Caruso, KCP, LeBron, Drummond, starting lineup. And you know what? I like this starting lineup, actually. I was kind of shocked that Caruso didn't keep his starting role after his great performance in the finals, Game 6, and what a great job he did locking up the perimeter. So I think if Dennis continues to turn the ball over and do things like he's doing, I actually prefer this starting lineup right here. Jeremy, appreciate you. He said, God bless you and your family. May continue to bless you always and forever. Likewise, man. God bless you guys as well. And thank you for the love as always. He said, we need to win this game. We need to win. We need to approach every single game for the last 9 games as a game 7. We need that intensity. I want to see us start trapping star players, taking the ball out of their hands when we do versus the tough matchups. That way we can kind of get a glimpse of what we're going to start doing in the postseason. But the Lakers have all the tools it takes to get to the finals again. It's up to coach to use them properly. Again, we haven't been seeing much of Marc Gasol, but when we do see him off the bench, he's been great. Why not continue to give him minutes? Alfonso McKinney was killing before LeBron came back. Why not find minutes for him if another player is struggling at said position? Why not give Alfonso some minutes? Also, I love Talen Horton-Tucker when he's handling the ball as a primary ball handler off the bench. I like what he does. He play makes for others. He's getting better at that. He's only 20. So I like what he's doing there. And not to mention Montrezl Harrell, I think he needs to be a 4, which is his natural position, because defensively, obviously, he's going to get torched if a 7-footer who has any sort of a post game is down there as the opposition. So I would much prefer to move him to a power forward where he can eat and still bang down low. So, but that's just me. He said Dallas and Portland on the Lakers' heels. Bro, we're right there neck and neck with them. So we got to make sure that we execute down the stretch. It's going to be fun. Good evening, Larry. What's up, brother? Dennis is the starter for name more than these days. I do agree with you. I don't like it when coaches start players based on their contract. You know what I mean? So KCP all season long has gotten the lifetime membership because his contract is worth so much. And I guess coaching staff doesn't want to make the front office look bad if KCP gets sent to the bench, right? So that's kind of like playing politics for me, and I don't like that. I think the team should always reward whatever players are playing the best. If that's Ben McLemore should start. If that's KCP should start. If it's Caruso over Dennis, Caruso should start. If it's Talen Horton-Tucker, even though he's 20, if he's out playing all these other veteran guards, then start him. But at least that's the type of coach I would be, because I believe in rewarding good play. And at times, Coach Frank Vogel does do that, but sometimes he just forgets about that and he goes with the politics. Oh, we got LeBron back. That means McKinney, even though he's been balling, goes to the bench. Marc Gasol, even though he looks more effective, he doesn't get any playing time because we're paying Montrez that much more. Again, to me, Montrez is out of position. He's never been a center in this league. I've never seen him that way, at least, and I get it. Nowadays, there's a lot of small ball. But in the playoffs, if we go up against size, 7-footers off the bench, they're going to cook Montrezl Harrell at the 5. They're not going to cook him at the 4. So make sure that we play Marc Gasol. He does a decent job of clogging up the paint with his big size and body and his 7-foot wingspan. So we're going to need as much possible from Marc. And I'm hoping that coach is saving him for the playoffs, and that way he hasn't unveiled him. He's kind of going to be like a secret weapon because he can make from the post, top of the key. He can also stretch the floor, and he can bang down low from time to time. He still has a nice soft touch. But again, he was no longer a starting center. We saw that all season long. Now that we got a starting center, at least give him that bench role. I don't get why he went from starting to not playing at all. That doesn't make no sense to me. He said Portland leads by 7, Dan. It's nerve-wracking time, guys. Oh, my goodness. The playoffs are here. They're around the corner. We're in May 2nd already. My goodness. So playoffs are here, man. Basically, we got, 16 days till we get some action, even if it's the play-in tournament first. And I can't wait. I live for the playoffs, man. To me, I love March Madness. I love the Super Bowl. But there's nothing like the NBA playoffs for me, man. Nothing like it. The intensity, the way players play so hard. I wish they played like this all year. But the playoffs is where you see the best of the best. Hey, happy birthday to Laker Girl 24-1. Thank you so much for always being a loyal subscriber and showing support and love to the channel. We reciprocate that. Please, everybody, join me in showing the homegirl some birthday love. Hopefully the Lakers get that win for you as a birthday present. Happy birthday, Laker girl. He said, love your channel. He said, God bless you, bro. Right back at you, man. Positive vibes for sure. But everybody, please wish Laker Girl 24-1, a happy birthday. Appreciate y'all, man. He said, it's always great when the Lakers are in the playoffs. Bruh, it's great when the Lakers are in the playoffs. And for the first time since I can remember, the Lakers and the Knicks are in the playoffs. You know how amazing it's going to be, the intensity? And I think the Knicks are winning right now, or they won already. I'm not sure if that game's over, but the Lakers and the Knicks in the playoffs is exactly what the NBA needs from the West and from the East Coast, man. Thank you, Darius. There you go. We got one happy birthday for Laker Girl, Darius. Everybody continue. Let's keep it going. Let's show some love. Sign and trade Schroeder for Lonzo. I would love that this offseason. You know what, Angel? Me too. Why? Because Lonzo has now shown growth. Because Lonzo is now showing more consistency. Lonzo can now stretch the floor and shoot beyond the arc consistently. And he's a playmaker first. So, yes, I agree with you, man. It would be amazing if the Lakers could pull that off. But I doubt it because, look, the Pelicans are starting to open their eyes about his potential. And so if I was the Pelicans, I wouldn't do that trade. Would you? So, trades sometimes have to be fair both ways. But, yeah, that would be nice. That would be amazing. I always had love for Lonzo. It hurt me when we had to let him and B.I. go, but it was for a good cause. Thank you guys so much for showing love to the homegirl, man. That's why I love Laker Nation. Good-hearted people, man, all the time. Good vibes. Unlike another LA wannabe fan base. You guys know who I'm talking about. I don't want to give them any clout, so I won't mention them today. But happy birthday. He said, DTLF, how do you rate Vogel's lineups and rotations this year? And happy birthday, Laker girl. How do I rate the lineups and rotations out of 10? I give them a 5 because at least he has given Taylor Horton-Tucker some playing time, so I'm happy about that. Most coaches don't give young players playing time, so I am happy about that. I think he has the right starting lineup. Maybe subtract Dennis for somebody like Caruso, but overall he has the right starting lineup. The bench is where it starts to get way funky, right? It's never consistent off the bench, and like I said, guys like McKinney and Marc Gasol deserve minutes. They don't deserve DNPs. They play too hard and they play too good. They play smart basketball. So for those reasons, I give him a 5 out of 10. All we really need from his rotations is to get it up to an 8 come playoff time. That's it. That's all I'm expecting. That is all I am expecting, man. He said, no, Wesley Matthews is straight trash, bro. Yeah, Wesley Matthews hasn't been consistent for us. However, I do believe that there's going to be a place for him in the playoffs where he's going to come in, knock down shots, and play hard defense at some point. It might not be the first playoff series. It might be the second round or third round, but I think Wesley will play his part. He is a veteran, and remember, when young players unravel in the playoffs, that's when veterans kind of are that pillar. They're that strength to that young core pieces. So for sure. Thank you guys for showing the homie love. Always, man. Love it. Love it. He said, nah, man, don't see it. He said, 2021 Los Angeles Lakers guard Dennis Schroeder will miss Sunday's game against Toronto Raptors because of health and safety protocols. Yes, we reported on that, but we appreciate you, Big. You know what? It could be a blessing in disguise because this guy is averaging, like 5-6 turnovers a game as of lately, and we can do without those, to be honest with you. It's not like he was big while LeBron was out scoring-wise in some games, but he's hit or miss. You just can't never fully count on Dennis Schroeder. Like, I never go into the game thinking, oh, Dennis, look at this matchup. It's perfect for Dennis. He's about to kill. Nah, because you don't know if you're going to get, like I said, if you're going to get Dennis – the hungry version that plays great defense and knock down shots and he attacks and he stays aggressive, or you're going to get the version that's complaining and moping about calls and the money he didn't get paid. So for those reasons, we will find out tonight if it was a blessing in disguise, and it also might be a foretelling of what's to come in the future. If the Lakers start doing better without Dennis, and there's no point to pay him any money in the offseason, let him walk, start either Caruso or Taylor next year, and we'll work with that, honestly. Knicks are whooping the Rockets. I'm telling you, man. I told you guys from the moment they got Tom Thibodeau, I said, oof, these Knicks are going to shine, especially Julius, tough-minded player like that with a tough-minded coach. It was a match made in heaven. And I'm happy. Again, my prediction came true. I knew the Knicks were going to make the playoffs this year. And not only are they making the playoffs, but they're a top 4 team in the East. Couldn't be more proud of my boy Julius and the New York Knicks, which, if you guys don't know by now, are my second favorite team in the NBA. So very proud of this team, man. I got friends that actually live in New York that are diehard Knicks fans, and I couldn't be happier for them because they've stuck with their team through thick and thin. I remember the days when they was wearing the brown paper bags at the draft and stuff because they're embarrassed of their owner, who wouldn't be, right? So I love seeing the Lakers' young stars shine. Me too, man. Trust me. Jordan Clarkson the other night had a crazy poster dunk, man. I'm like, JC, I always knew you were a beast, man. It's just, that he needed to get the green light, and I'm glad he's finally getting coached properly. Luke Walton and Byron Scott were not the right coaches for this young core. So I'm happy to see these guys spread their wings, and they're out here shining, man. They're out here making millions, man. All these guys got paid millions. So, the Lakers drafted well. We just didn't have the proper coaching staff for them. I think these players would have shined a lot more, and there are different situations where there are. So I'm happy for them. He says Celtics up by 1. Thanks for the update, Andre. Yep, I never thought I'd be rooting for the Celtics, but we need the Celtics to win tonight. Still don't root for the Celtics, but I'm just rooting for the Portland Trailblazers to lose. That's it. He said, do you think Caruso should be starting over Dennis at point guard? If Dennis continues to be sloppy with the basketball and have his poor body language, yes, no doubt. I will start anybody over him. Matter of fact, the other night when I was so frustrated with the loss, I got off a little bit early, and my pizza had just gotten here, so I was hungry. But the other night, I did mention, here's an idea. I said, Ben McLemore shooting lights out. We could use a shooter like that in the playoffs just for, his ability to stretch the floor. He plays solid defense. He's not the best defender, but he holds his own. And the floor can be so much more spread by having a shooter like that at all times alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Drummond. So I was thinking, what if we move LeBron James down to the point guard? You start Ben McLemore at either shooting guard or small forward, and KCP at the small forward with AD and Drummond. Can you imagine if those two guys, KCP and Ben McLemore, can just catch and shoot in these playoffs? It's a wrap. If we can have two sharp shooters, because KCP has been playing a lot better since we acquired Ben McLemore. Now, if you start them both and you subtract Dennis, send them to his rightful place in the bench, all of a sudden you have more depth off the bench, because now Dennis can be a primary ball handler. He can get everybody to their spots, or if not, do his little tunnel vision scoring, whatever. And LeBron James can be a primary facilitator and then score when we need him, but he'd have those shooters all around him, guys who can stretch the floor. I think it would be really dope to see that, man. Really dope. And at times when we want to go with the small ball lineup, we would just move Anthony Davis to the center, and then you would have Kyle Kuzma at the 4, and then and on down, right? Markieff at the 3, and then you'd have a shooters at the 2, and then LeBron at the 1. You can just mess with you can tinker with all kinds of lineups. It's just that, guess what? We're gonna need Frank Vogel to get creative. He did this to his credit, he did it in the playoffs, right? That's why I still give him the benefit of the doubt at times, but I just couldn't protect him anymore after last game. And you guys ravaged him for sure. A lot of people wanted his head on a stick, and I don't blame you guys, but you guys are passionate Laker fans, so I understand it, especially after the atrocious rotations he's been showing lately. He said, Dan, we need our coach to show up tonight. We need everybody to show up, man. From the ball boy to the water boy, everybody got to show up. It's a Staples Center game. Let's make our fans proud. We have lost 4 out of the last 5. Not acceptable, especially with the talent. We've had AD for about a week now. We've got LeBron James back now. No excuses. Let's go out there and just leave it all out. My boy said Ben Mac and Cheese is consistent. It would be nice if the Lakers can hold on to him. I do like him, man. We usually don't get shooters like these. I mentioned it. So from the moment we acquired him, I said, I can't wait till LeBron comes back. He loves players like that. He's made a killing with players like J.R. Smith, who are street volume shooters. Ben McLemore is no different. Once he sees the ball go through the hoop, all bets are off. He can hit like 4 or 5 straight threes. KCP was very consistent for us last year in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he's hit or miss. So I'm hoping KCP can duplicate what he did last year in the playoffs. If he does, we're good, baby. We are good. We're solid. But here's to hoping tonight we can execute versus the Toronto Raptors, one game at a time. Again, I want to see playoff intensity, limiting turnovers. No Dennis tonight, so that should help. I want to see us crash the glass, and I want to see us just play as a unit, move the ball. Let's not just ball watch LeBron James and hope for him to make a play every time. When LeBron goes to the bench, I want to see an aggressive bench come up and continue to maintain and even exceed that lead. So that's what I want to see from the Lakers tonight. I know Toronto, again, you never know what version of Toronto you're going to play, so it could be a very tough game if they show up. Bottom line, Lakers should win tonight. If not, I'm going to be so disappointed, man. 9 games left in the season. Let's get it together, Laker Nation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to catch you guys in the post-game recap. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Thanks for donations, likes, and all that good stuff, man. You guys are the best. And thank you for wishing our homegirl a happy birthday as well, man. You guys truly, truly warm my heart up. Anyways, Lakers should win. I'll see you guys right here for the post-game recap. Have a great game.